Hello. I'm going to show you what it's like to have an astrologer who has run all over the place, rode mostly all over the place, and gotten a bunch of upgrades. So I've got a total of 9 flask uses, and they're at +5 potency. Picked up the Traveler's set, and that's along with Radagon Soreseal, which, among other things, increases my endurance by 5 and therefore gives me better equip load. I can have equipment to 3 slots, just no hands, and I'm still in light load territory, as you can see in the lower right. The Soreseal, here's how this works. See, all zeros, right? Soreseal reduces your negation, all your negations, by 15%. Increases your defense, your flat defense, it's called sometimes, a bit. Because it increases your vigor by 5, it gives you, at this level, with the starting astrologer's vigor, it gives you quite a bit more than a 15% increase to your hit points. So even though you're getting hit harder, you have more than enough HP to make up for it. And with the upgraded flasks, +5, you're going to fill up your health bar all the way every time, even if you're down to just 1 HP. I also got the Rotten Stray summon, along with the usual wolf and jellyfish. So we are going to try to grab Gravitas first. Oh yeah, also, right. Forgot about that. I also picked up an extra spell slot. Alright, I can't use just because I'm used to having it set. Well, not that yet. It's been a while since I played a new sorcery character. We'll get that set there, and then we'll get our intelligence to 18 pretty quickly, so we can use it and the Meteor Staff. Let's see, I think there's a grace near here that I haven't unlocked yet. Is this the right? Oh, it might be. Oh, no, I'm thinking of it. Yeah, I'm at the correct beach that I'm heading towards. There's 2 sections of the beach that aren't. They're blocked by a bunch of water. I am going to the correct beach, though. I think. Oh, I'm always doubt until I actually get there. Did I go too? Yeah, I went a little too far. Is it this one? Yep. So, camera work, right? You can't really see where that is too clear or at all from here. And it's kind of hard to make sure you're moving the right way sideways, so. But pointing the stick straight down, it's pretty easy. So we want the guy over here. Don't have much buffing to. I don't think I've even put anything in my physic yet, which maybe a little stamina would help, but let's see how we do. Just nuking him a bit. I tell you, I feel like spells are weaker than last time I started with the new astrologer. I guess, you know, the last couple times I played one, I went and did more upgrading for, like, not just equipment, but I also did a little rune farming. Probably, you know, AFK rune farming, because I wasn't really strong to be fighting anything. So this is how you get something you might have noticed before. Alec Drake Talisman, and down there, this is where, you know, you've been here before. It's impossible to not have been here before. There's the tutorial tunnel. Okay. Now we'll start here. Not the spell, what am I? Ashes of War, that's what we want. I like sticking with the short sword. Because of the flask upgrades, we're going to be able to nuke pretty much everything. But when you get to sneak up on something, it's nice to backstab them. It's efficient. Usually I like to do that with a dagger of some sort because of the crit bonus, but this early in the game, best I can remember, the only way of getting magic affinity is to use that gravitas Ash of War I just picked up. Now I'm not used to, though, you know, there might be another alternative. I'm not used to going to Liurnia early, but I very recently discovered a way to, well, you see I don't have any graces. If you touch a grace in Liurnia, certain quest steps get missed here. Also, you have to be careful getting in, because the way you get to Liurnia without going through the castle, you go around the castle, and then, as I showed in my previous video, if you get too close to a certain spot, the NPC appears here, and something happens, changes down in here, and you miss quite a few quest steps there. But yeah, so I'm not used to going to this zone early. There could be an Ash of War here. Maybe that's easy to get, and that gives you magic affinity. Nothing's coming to mind, though. It's mostly Rajir. So I guess maybe if you did intentionally touch a grace in Liurnia, I think that causes Rajir to be at the round table hold, and then you could buy his magic Ashes of War. He has, he sells 3, and one of them he doesn't give you until after you beat Godric. So for now, Gravitas, and this is what it does with Ashes. That's the skill. Draws things in, useful for flying critters. Mainly I just want to have the magic affinity on the weapon, because there's not much scaling yet, but we're going to be increasing intelligence. But yeah, you see there's barely any actual scaling on it. Haven't upgraded it yet. Maybe that's not a bad thing to do. No, I want to get intelligence first. Do I have enough to level up? Nope. I guess that's not enough to level up anything except a wretch. Alright, so we'll go to... It's basically the first cave, pretty easy cave. Even though it's a, cave, I kind of get the impression that it might be a little brighter in here than if it's not night outside. I don't know, maybe not. That might have nothing to do with it, I'm not sure. Sometimes it just seems darker to me than other times, so I don't know. Alright, so when you have all these flasks, you don't have to worry about running out of FP. You can pretty much nuke everything. That one is, I think, a bigger one. Yeah, so 3, you need 4 hits. Alright, look at this guy here sneaking up. So you can see it's pretty easy mode. And again, this is, aside from getting some different armor. This is, I haven't leveled up. I haven't leveled up my staff. Don't have the 18 intelligence to use the Meteor Staff yet. So this is starting Astrologer play. The real thing is that I'm not worried about FP because I have all these extra flask uses compared to when you normally start. But yeah, I like keeping that parked there. You don't want to accidentally... well, most of the time you can't summon. You have to be only in certain spots, but I don't want to summon when I don't want to, because you can only summon once per rest. You can only use your Wondrous Physic once per rest, so I keep it parked and some daggers. I do like to, the Kukri add bleed. I like to, later I'll pick up some plain old throwing daggers, because they actually have somewhat better range than the spell. And once in a while you might want to get something's attention or knock a goblin off of a wall so he plummets to his death. Oh, there's one more. It didn't come up yet. Okay. Crackpot. Some crackpot theory. Just a little cave. And here's the boss. And of course I'm going to have to put a message right there. Oh, actually, yeah, it's annoying. I want to be able to... Well, I don't really have to now. Sometimes I like being able to switch weapons here, and, the left and right gets taken over by... it's pretty annoying. Oh, yeah, I don't think I put anything in this yet. I guess it'll let me use it, but it just won't do anything. Yeah, apparently. Alright, we'll get ready to summon the Rotten Stray. Maybe I'll let him, Oh, come on. I didn't even touch you yet. Go get the pet. Look, the pet's after you. There you go. Once he's on your pet, then you can take a few shots. Oh, that was quite a lunge. And that's that. And now we can level up. Oh good, we can do it twice. So, one boss, probably the easiest boss. And now we can use the Meteor Staff. That puts me in medium load now. I wonder, what do I have to take off to stay light if I want to? That's a much heavier staff. To take off the body, huh? You know what, I'll just be in medium load then. So let's put on the heavier stuff. And see, yeah, we're still medium even with the heavier, because it's not that heavy. And I think these both weigh the same. Is one of these preferable? What's our lowest defense? Bunch of things at -1825. Makes one lower, one higher, one worse, one better. Then I'll stick with the neutral. I guess I could still be at medium load with the shields. Okay. Now, if you find that you like casting, you might want to not get in the habit of having a shield, because later it'll be better to have another staff in your offhand, not for casting, because there are some staffs or staves, if you prefer, that boost certain types of spells, and some of them are pretty good. Oh, and I try to keep in the habit of keeping my melee weapon ready in case something jumps out at me. because normally when you're casting a spell, you've got at least a couple seconds to think about it. So I went over this way, go around this thing. I figured out that you can climb it, so I like climbing it. You can get all the way on top if you want. Take advantage of how it's tilted. Once you get the crafting kit, you can turn these things into, I think they're called rainbow stones, because sort of like a random color each time you use one, and you can use them when you're standing up on a ledge, and if they break when they land, that also means that you would break when you land if you were to hop off the ledge. There's a guy over there. Chair's in the way. Let's see, right hand is going to be... Whoops. Casting, please. I hit the chair anyway. And then when you're in a place, as soon as you see one goblin, you want to check for more. And for bloodstains. They tend to lurk around corners. Ooh. Bright eyes. Do some extra. Here's where gravitas, I think, can come in handy. I think it works through walls, can kind of stun him, get the jump on him. Smithing stone. I didn't realize. I don't remember ever getting a smithing stone from one of those dudes before. Alright, keep that. So here's why Astrologer, or well, anyone with good ranged attacks is nice. Get them before they get you, it's a good thing. He got a little bit out of range there. And he came back in. So, yeah, very nice to not have to worry about FP. So, Astrologer is a great class to take advantage of those early upgrades. Oh yeah, that's right. I usually like to buy a bow before coming in here. Really wanted to get that INT though. Let's see. I guess, I haven't done it in a while, but I guess I'll just go ahead and do the run. It's scary, but that other one doesn't reach you, luckily. Much easier to just shoot these with an arrow. Oh, where did that guy come from? Yeah, let me show you that shields are nice. Especially against little twerps like this. Block them, and then you block counter. Oh, if I had waited a second, I could have hit him with a crit instead. Because the block counter gave him stance break in one hit. So yeah, they're nice. You don't have to worry about dodging at the right time or timing an attack to hit them before they hit you. You just block and counter. And if you... Another thing the Soreseal lets me do, I have enough strength to equip a shield with 100% physical mitigation. So the only thing you got through was a little bit of the hemorrhage status build up. So you take no actual damage, no physical damage when you block with this. Magic, fire, lightning, holy will hurt. Now, what about this? This one? I don't remember what to do here. Oh, here, okay. As far as the room goes, I guess I'll knock it down. Oh, yeah, a little close. Don't want that guy to aggro. Sometimes when they fall, this time, but sometimes when they fall, you lose lock on, so be careful. You can wind up wasting some focus points. So that, let's put this down. There's another one. Yeah, this one's going to fall farther. Is that what does it? Huh, no, making a liar out of me. Sometimes if you shoot twice in a row, or maybe even if you don't lose lock on, the spell doesn't track them well as they fall. Yeah, so this is the deal with the goblins. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. The second one didn't hit him. Sometimes you do lose lock on though. If you do want to save a little focus points, you can charge them. They don't have much poise, so you get one hit in and keep going. They don't get to do anything. If he hits you 3 times, you get the blood loss. Yeah. Okay, so yes. Now, we haven't been down there yet. We've been all the way down there, but not here. But it looks like once we drop down, I'm not gonna be able to get back up. So let's see what's over here first. Thought I heard something. You don't hear the sound of those. Oh, there's a dude. Any more? Yeah, shield is pretty handy with them. Alright, it's a dead end. If just an item to grab, so now we go down here. And if you're not on someone with ranged attacks, you go to pull the handle. The guy there jumps out and gets you. And then you try to fight him and nothing happens because you have to dismiss that message first. Now, you might have noticed that there aren't any opponents between the boss room and the Grace, so might as well go rest up first. Not gonna have to fight anything on the way back. And also, you want to check if you're close to leveling up. You don't want to go into a boss fight if you... Whoops, I forgot to actually check. If you got enough runes to level up first or to buy something instead. I could level up, but now that I've got the Meteor Staff going, I think, yeah, let me buy that bow. Show you how to get that. Now, I'm flaky, so I want to remember I didn't get this boss, so I put the skull mark there. If I see that later, oh yeah, I forgot to go back and kill the boss. I use that here too, because I unlocked the Grace. If a Grace is showing on my map and it's for an indoor area that only has one Grace, not like a whole legacy dungeon. And to me, if I see the Grace without the icon, for my system, that tells me I finished it. Because usually that's how I do it. I go in, I finish it. But if I unlocked it just because I was in the neighborhood, or I wanted to be able to teleport back there, but I wasn't going to do the fight yet, then I mark it. You might want to do something similar. Okay, so the bow. Okay, so the bow is the other beach. So for that, we're going to go to the first step. And similarly, we can use a spirit spring to get down. It's a little weird using this one. That really feels more like it was meant for getting up than down. Sometimes the AoE spell is good on them. Often though, even though it looks like it hit 2 or 3 of them when they're clustered together, it only hits 1 anyway. And if you use Glintstone Pebble, one of them will fly off as soon as the first one gets hit. Sometimes I make it there, sometimes I don't, but you still land safely because you're near it. We can go grab this. Say, I think a gold foot here. Yeah, that one increases your rune gain for a little while.
What do you need?
And this guy has a little bow. And let's get some arrows. 20 is good.
All done? Well, yeah.
And since we come this far, might as well unlock the closest grace. It happens to be in a cave, so I'm going to do that same thing. Put that map marker on it because I'm not going to do this cave yet, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't want to do this one yet. Okay, what next? Let's do something where I can show you. Oh yeah, I know what I want to do. Shore Master's whack. I mean, War Master's shack. Going north. Oh yeah, you'll see I failed this guy before. I thought I remembered taking him on with a brand new Astrologer. I thought I remembered a single volley of Moonstone Pebble taking him out, but I guess it didn't go as planned. So I'm guessing that it must have been an Astrologer that I had leveled up a bit, at least like I am now with the Meteor Staff. So we do want to kind of get behind him, so wait till he turns around. Takes a few steps this way. Yeah, okay, that's it exactly. He always drops that. Sometimes he also drops some of the armor he's wearing. And what's this? 0? I think it's 0. Oh, 5. Ooh. And I already got this, I think, right? There's a Somber Smithing Stone 1 here, carried by a Scarab Beetle, but I grabbed that during an earlier video with this build. The running around and getting upgrades part. Okay, so Golden Vow is good. It's a buff. You put it on a weapon, you use it. Well, I'll just show you wherever. Let's go here. Do I have another weapon I can actually equip? Oh, okay, we got a couple forked hatchets off of the goblins, so okay, that's handy. So the way this works, imagine you're about to go into a tough fight. Oh, so this is the reason why I put my main weapons in slots 2 and 3 on their respective rows. These are my guest slots. If I have something here, it means usually, either I'm buffing with it right now, or temporarily using it, or I forgot to unequip it. So it's my reminder. And those are the first slots that you're close to when you go into the screen. So maybe you buff your Wondrous Physic first, then you queue up your pet for when you go into the boss fight, and then you also buff with Golden Vow, or if it's AoE, so you can also buff your pet with it And then you take it off so it doesn't count to your equip load. Sometimes there isn't time. Usually you can't summon your pet until you're in the boss room, and then the boss starts heading your way, so there isn't always time to buff your pet. Sometimes you just buff yourself before you go in. What would I do as the third? Oh yeah, let me show you how to handle skeletons. Okay, good, that's from here. Okay, how do we do it on Rudes? 834. What do I want to do next? Level up some more? Anything I want to... else I want to buy? I don't want to upgrade. Weapon, not really. Yeah, I think... next good move is to start putting some points into Vigor. Even with the Soreseal helping out there. Astro starts with pretty low Vigor, so start getting that up. Oh, right. And then this is a skeleton place. So, even though we have pretty good intelligence, it helps to temporarily switch our weapon to this Sacred Blade, and giving it also the Sacred Affinity, because these guys are weak to holy damage. So we don't have much holy scaling because we don't have much faith. You don't have much scaling with anything at this level, though. Even that 18 intelligence isn't giving us much magic scaling when we do that. So you'll see what Sacred Blade does. No, first I'll show you what happens if you don't have it. So he goes down, and then to really kill him, you gotta hit him again when they're down, which is fine when there's just one, but if things start getting crowded... Wow. The Holy Dagger didn't take him out as quickly as I thought it would, compared to yeah, Meteor Staff. That's how OP that thing is. That sorcery scaling at this level is just bonkers. So here's Sacred Blade. You couldn't really see it there. It fires a projectile and it buffs the weapon. And then you don't have to kill them twice. Oh, and you see the amount of holy damage this adds to the weapon. Yeah, it added 90, so that's huge. This guy got up first. Yeah, very good stuff. Very good for skeletons. You see, even though we're intelligence sorcery build, can't beat Sacred Blade against the skeletons, at least not at this level. That's it for down here. There's some above us. Take care of them in a bit. Yeah, see the button dismissed the message instead of picking up the thingy. lasts a good while now. They buffed the duration since it first came out. That's everybody. Well, they don't exactly have bodies, but yeah, Meteor Staff is OP, but against skeletons, Sacred Blade is more OP, even if you got no faith. And how are we doing on runes? Oh yeah, got quite a bit fighting there. Feel like maybe there's something else I want to buy. Oh yeah, Yeah, can wait and just level up again. More vigor. I think I get that up to like 15 at the very least before I put even more into intelligence. Just having the 18 intelligence and the scaling sorcery is. I mean, look at the scaling on the sorcery scaling is 138, 117. It's not that huge. I don't know. It seemed to make. It seemed to make a pretty big difference against that knight, though. I guess the numbers don't always. Doesn't look that much bigger percentage-wise, but it's not necessarily how the game math works. Maybe it was enough to surpass a sort of threshold to penetrate his defenses or something. Not always intuitive. Oh, I still didn't do it. I gotta remember. I'm gonna keep forgetting. So let's put something in the physic. Don't really have that much great for a caster. Some strength. Sword will hit a little harder if I use it. Do I want to keep sacred? Yeah, I'll keep sacred. Not always, but often if you're in a skeleton dungeon. Sometimes the boss is weak to holy. I don't remember. Done these a lot of times, but I don't remember which is which. Alright, so we'll get our buff ready. Even though this isn't putting me in heavy load, I want to maintain the habit of unequipping my Golden Vow, whatever I'm using for Golden Vow. There's room for Meteor here. Oh, and it's nice because it's a bit delayed. You see how he dodged it way too early. Dodges and then gets hit. They're kind of dumb about delayed attacks, a lot of opponents. It's dodging based on basically when you press the button, not when the spell goes off. So yeah, that's a nice thing about Rock Sling too sometimes. Burns through my MP quicker than the Pebble, but not a bad thing in a boss fight. It's not overkill in a boss fight. Trash, it's usually overkill. Alright, switch back to Gravitas. Didn't need Sacred Blade for that boss anyway. What did we get? I like keeping this clear. It makes it, quicker when you're switching. Oh, I think I have enough to grab something before I forget. I'm not going to really need it for a while. My advice is to unlock the grace here before you have the cache, because getting up there can be a little hairy, but I'm going to go for it. If you do get aggro, you might want to avoid bringing the aggro up to the hut where we're going, because if the NPC up there gets killed, I wouldn't swear to it, but his buddies might blame you. Alright, looks like we managed to avoid aggro.
Well, there's been a... How can I help?
The Beast Repellent Torch. 1200 runes. And it does repel beasts. Oh, that's interesting. Keep unwelcome beasts away from treasure troves hidden in caves. That's pretty specific. I wonder if this actually burns with a different color flame. And if there are actually beast repellent torches in the world, I never looked for them. I guess if it burns in a somewhat different color, you could look for that color. Hello there. And you see that? So you get sky shot. I guess what that dude that aggroed, who aggroed down there, is trying to do to us. I see what they did there. Yeah, if you're near the edge, it will hit you too. Hard. Lose aggro doing that. And 746, I'm gonna go pick up some of those throwing daggers that I mentioned. So I can, if I'll remember where to. There's a good example of what they come in handy for. In another goblin catacomb, I don't remember exactly which one now, but.
Wait. Well, you're back.
Don't need too many of these with the sorcery user. Might as well grab the crafting kit too. That about cleans us out. How many? I have 20 hours. That's good for now. Alright, let's do one more. Not too ginormous fight of some kind. Or, there's I think a fairly little one this way. Birds. You didn't drop anything, really? Come on, that was a pretty good hit. You should have had something for that. Oh, I know what I probably should have gotten instead. Say, if there was a Let me lose aggro first. Those guys are pretty slow. So the merchant down here sells a lantern you wear around your waist. It's good for dark places, and you don't have to, you can still have whatever you're dual wielding, two-handing a weapon, sword and board. You don't have to give up a slot for a torch. Yeah, they're really dropping the smithing stones for me today. Hello. So your shield makes you guys easy. You don't even have to run around and upgrade your FP. At least not for these guys. Upgrade your flasks, that is. Although of course it is still handy nuke when there's more than one at a time, for example. Yeah, these ones actually are just statues. Of course it didn't hit them, right? Or did it? Maybe a little? Oh yeah, looks like one of them got hit a bit. And is there another one hiding here? Yeah, of course there is. Ah! Jesus. Every place is so hazardous. Alright, you see, I'm noticing that this was a little out of the way thing, and the next place I have to go is here. No, I don't want to have to fight those three again just to go. No, I have to fight those two or three. If that had used up a lot of resources though, and you wanted to, you could go back and rest, and then you'd only have to fight the two or three in that room, and you wouldn't have to deal with those ones again at all. Nice shot there, doggy. Just totally missed the guy. You don't want to shield block this guy. It's gonna take a lot of stamina to block them big hammers. I mean, better than getting hit, but. So yeah, as you can see, if you're free to just nuke whatever you want, really, it's pretty game changing early on here. Alright, I've got enough of that lantern, so I guess I'll show you that. this guy down here. Now be careful that if it's nighttime and you go to these merchant shacks sometimes, if you don't see the merchant where they're supposed to be, you're probably going to get attacked by the bell-bearing hunter.
Well, there's been a... How can I help?
This guy also sells the Zweihander, among other things. Smithing stone 2s.
Have a safe.
So I put this here. And just a little lighten your waist there. It doesn't look like much out here, but when you're in the actual, dark, it pretty good. So I'm gonna leave it there for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.